Well, I am making a very quick and easy and crispy, believe it or not, eggplant Parmesan cheat sheet.
What?
Yes, I deconstructed this. So starting with, of course, eggplant, right? So right now I have a sheet pan in a screaming hot oven, about 450. It's been sitting there for a while. I'm trying to like kind of fry in the sheet, so we're gonna leave that in there nice and plain. Yep. We'll get to that in a second. Right now we're gonna peel it, because sometimes with eggplant parm, you take a bite with the skin on and it's a little tough. So we want this kind of nice smooth bites. About, you know, 1/4 of an inch slices of that eggplant, just like this. We're no need to salt this, pre-salt this, because we're just gonna work quickly and make this as easy as possible for you people. So we take our eggplant and right into the egg wash right here, right? So just one side though.
Oh.
So I have some nice seasoned panko breadcrumbs. So we'll keep that here for a while, and we're gonna grate some fresh Parmesan on here. You don't want to, salt and pepper's in there, just salt and pepper, whatever. A little granulated garlic if you want to experiment, a little dried Italian seasoning. We take our, just one side with the egg wash, right? Right into the panko and cheese mixture, right? Get a nice little boom. And then there we go. So we repeat with all these. Beautiful with the cheese. Let me get this out of the way. So I got my favorite, you know, just red sauce, marinara sauce here. If you want to go to the jarred stuff, that's fine. And some deli sliced mozzarella slices.
This is crazy.
All right, so right now you bump down the oven back down to 350, okay? Because that's what we're gonna cook it at.
I think the number 1 thing that people have issue with eggplant is getting it crispy and not soggy, so
exactly.
I'm excited about this.
And how does one do that without having to fry individual pieces, stink up your kitchen, mess up your kitchen? So a decent amount of oil, and now we're gonna take that beautifully breaded eggplant right in there. And we're gonna work very quickly, right? We want that residual heat, and heat up the oil and start frying that eggplant essentially from the bottom. Nice, not cold, but kind of just a little bit in the middle like that. Almost like you're making a pizza. Working quick, right?
You can put it on a hoagie roll too.
Oh my God, how good would that be? Or stack it up. And then we got our sheets of, you know, our nice slices. This is why we did this, right? It's a little more even. And what I don't mind is a little overhang. So this is going back into the oven, right? 350 here. It's going on the bottom rack. Remember, we lowered the oven down from 500 to 350, and it's going on the bottom so the bottom can crisp up and the top can properly melt evenly. Here I have some, oh my heavens.
Oh my goodness.
Ready to go.
This looks good.
And look at that.
Oh,
look at that.
Yeah.
This is not the mama's eggplant parmesan.
Yes.
This is very different.
What a great idea that was.
Smoky eggplant baba ganoush. So I just take a fork. If you're having a hard day, this is kind of a good thing to do. So all the way around, so that smoke gets in there. And I'm gonna put this on the hot side of the grill. One side has the charcoal going. It tends to be a little bit on the hot side, no charcoal on the other side. So I'm gonna let these go for about 8 to 10 minutes aside and keep flipping them until they're charred all the way around. Now we're gonna check on our eggplant. Watch this maneuverability. So I'm gonna flip these guys, let them start to char on the other side. I had some that I did a little bit earlier, so you guys could see the whole situation. Full char, and while they're still warm, you take them, you place them in a resealable bag, and the steam does 2 things. It's gonna ensure that this eggplant gets cooked all the way through, which obviously we want for a puree, and that actually brings out the sweetness, removes a little bit of the bitterness when you cook them all the way through like that. And the steam is going to help push the skin away, so it's slightly easier to remove from the eggplant. I pulled one out already, pulled the skin off of it, and got it all peeled. Here is our other guy. Now, when you pull this out, there's also some juice. I like to reserve the juice because we're gonna put that into our eggplant puree because there's a lot of smoky goodness and flavor there. So I leave the juice in. We're gonna split the eggplant in half. And you could see when I pop it open, like you can see the steam pouring off of it, but the interior of it is soft, and that's what we're looking for. And then I'm going to grab a spoon and just pull out some of those excess seeds with the spoon. Just push them right out. And a little seeds here are not a problem.
I'm not going to grow an eggplant in my
Same
stomach.
thing over here. And then at that point, I just cut it in a quarter, take my knife, push it down towards the skin, and just go straight across.
I
to
feel
get
like you make
off-
that look a lot easier.
to
than
get
it
off
is.
the majority of the skin. If you have some skin left off, you could see it just peels off very easily. And now we're gonna get the rest of the ingredients to help make this eggplant puree. I hear the door.
Hi.
Lizzie.
How are you?
Good, what's going on?
I see you have a lovely bunch of peeled and roasted eggplant.
Yeah, so I chart them on the grill. What you got?
I'm gonna make this tahina,
Okay.
and part of making, the finished baba ganoush. But if you could do about a half a cup of tahini in this bowl.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
wait. Tahini, I'm confused on this.
Tahini's just the straight up sesame paste.
Okay.
Tahini.
Tahini.
Okay.
And then to make it tahina, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Actually,
Okay, I'm following.
As we go.
Okay.
Okay, so I just need you to juice about 2 lemons, maybe a quarter cup or so.
Got it.
So I'm going to do like a half a head of garlic.
Wait, but the skin's still on that garlic.
The skin is still on. So what this is gonna do is just protect it a little bit so it doesn't get so hot from the blade.
Okay.
So it's not gonna get bitter on you.
Got it.
Okay, so I've got about a teaspoon and a half of kosher salt. And then as soon as he finishes with my lemon juice, we're gonna put that in here.
Right in?
Yep, right in.
Everybody in the pool?
This is super simple. And then we're just gonna give this a little chop so it gets a really nice paste.
One of the reasons you could leave the skins on too is this is all getting strained through a mesh
Correct.
strainer.
Yeah,
Okay.
like if I was using this straight from here and not straining it, I wouldn't obviously leave the skins on. Now, I know this seems like a lot of garlic, and if you give this a couple hours to mellow, it's gonna lose a lot of the pungent garlic.
I feel with garlic, as long as everybody at the party's eating garlic, you're fine.
I think so too.
You know?
Agreed.
We all smell the same way.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so you're just pushing the
Yeah, I'm
paste
just kind of
through.
pushing that, get all that good lemony garlic
See,
saltiness.
it's catching all the skins.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
yep.
fantastic.
Okay.
I'll just keep,
All right, you just keep
I'll-
massaging it. All right, so anything you put into tahini, for whatever reason, it sort of makes it seize up.
Oh yeah.
It
wow.
really getting, see that? So
that's
to that,
crazy.
I'm just gonna add probably about a quarter cup of ice water.
So it
I don't
has
want
to be
that.
ice water.
Go ahead and stir.
Stir.
But do the ice cubes actually go in?
The ice cubes do not go in.
Okay, just
You
the
just
cold
want
water.
it super cold.
Got it.
And so you're gonna make this, it's still gonna be a little firm. The more it sits, the more it sets.
The ice water trick, it's kind of like hummus. It makes it a little fluffier and loosens it
Yeah,
up. And
exactly. It gives it a nice little, you can see it looks very creamy and fluffy.
put the eggplant right in. Lizzie, everybody in.
Everybody in.
Okay, a little juice. I mean, it can only enhance it, right?
Yeah, no, I saved it on purpose because I think it has a lot of that good smokiness in it and that great eggplant flavor.
Okay. This already smells
Oh my gosh.
incredible. All right, so all tight. Now we're just gonna give it, look at it go. Look how pretty it is. Okay, it smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna hand this to you, and if you wanna just pop it in that bowl. Now, if this is made the day before, it's gonna mellow as all those flavors sort of meld together, and it gets really delicious.
Remember, it starts off, it looks very loose, and as it sits, it seizes.
Yeah, an hour from now, this will be even thicker, but really good.
Feeling good about it?
Feeling great about it.
All right, so
okay.
I'm gonna use the baba as a little bit of a sauce.
Okay, can I put a little baba with my chicken?
Yeah, a little chicken, little salsa,
Little
little
BG.
baba. Nice kiss of smoke.
Ladies and gents, ratatouille, low country style. Ratatouille is a traditional French vegetable stew. And there's different variations of this dish, and I'm making my own variation of it with okra and shrimp. So in the skillet here, I added 1 onion, a green bell pepper that I diced, garlic, zucchini, yellow squash, and 1 small eggplant. All right, now I'm gonna add a pint of cherry tomatoes, a few sprigs of thyme, as well as a bay leaf. I'm gonna basically cook it until the cherry tomatoes start to blister. Now for my low country twist. I'm gonna add my okra, Okra doesn't take long to cook. Had I add the okra in the same time as the eggplant, it would just get really, really mushy. Now I'm gonna add in my shrimp that I have cleaned and deveined. And I'm just cooking the shrimp until it turns pink. All right, the juice of a lemon helps cut the slickness from the okra. Make sure you don't get any seeds in there. That's why I like to do it this way. Ladies and gents, ratatouille, low country style. Turn that off, bring this over here. Oh, as if this isn't already great on its own, I wanna add basil. Vita and Jade will be here soon and we can celebrate this beautiful journey they're embarking on. I mean, all right, let me go get some tissues because this is gonna be emotional.
So what we're gonna do is we are gonna slice this eggplant into about 1-inch slices. This is inspired by a post that I saw online. Frank Presenzano, the unknown chef. Everybody loves Frank. I love Frank. We got the olive oil in the pan, a few glugs of oil, if you will. I'm gonna turn that on high, and we're gonna put this directly inside the oil. And we're just gonna let it fry nice and brown. Beautiful, beautiful. A little bit of salt, plenty of salt. Eggplant does two things. It absorbs all the salt, it also absorbs all the oil. I'm gonna start flipping them over, get this nice color on both sides. I'm gonna put the aluminum foil right over this hot pan. I'm gonna take a little nap. You see the steam escaping there? That's what we want. 350-degree oven, 10 minutes. So this tomato sauce for the eggplant parm, I like a really kind of concentrated tomato flavored sauce. So I got some onions here. I'm just gonna dice them. Extra virgin olive oil in this pot, directly in the pan. I'm gonna add some sliced garlic to this, a little bit of fresh oregano, not too much, a little bit of salt, and I'm gonna add a pinch of crushed red pepper as well. I want these flavors to kind of intermingle. I want these onions to cook. I'm gonna add a nice generous amount of this tomato paste. It adds a tremendous amount of fresh tomato flavor. I have this tomato sauce, San Marzano tomatoes. I'm gonna add this directly to this. Just let that be exactly what it is. This should cook about 20 minutes or so. These are cooked beautifully. This is what we want. We want that kind of moist roasted flavor profile. That's what we want. I'm just gonna cook this a little more to crisp up the exterior. I really feel like I'm in my grandmother's kitchen right now. This is what it smells like. Look at that. That's beautiful. So I got this eggplant. I'm gonna put it on a paper towel to get some of that residual extra virgin olive oil off. I got my first layer of eggplant, just a little sauce spooned over the top here, sprig of fresh basil. And so an eggplant parm to me is eggplant, tomato, Parmesan cheese, fresh basil. Some people really love the breading, some people don't. For me, this is the spirit, the essence, and like the concentration of all things eggplant parm. Kind of functional garnish on top here. Here we go. And you see this is nicely concentrated, so it's not too much liquid kind of flowing all over the plate because it has a nice concentration of flavor. And it just becomes this delicious mound of yumminess. I think Frank's gonna be happy with that.
Grilled eggplant parm. I'm just cutting this into large discs. So all those go in the bowl. I'm gonna add a good couple glugs of extra virgin olive oil, a nice pinch of kosher salt, some fresh oregano. You could use dry if you have it. Remember, if you're using dry, you want to use about a half to a third as much as fresh because the flavor is slightly more intense with the dry. So garlic is peeled, smashed, and then a quick mince of this, and it goes right into our eggplant. Now we're just giving it a little toss. We're in a good place. I have my grill set up. The coals are in the back, no coals in the front. So the back of the grill is our heat source. So that's where I'm gonna grill these. All right, so now I'm gonna slice the tomatoes. So I'm gonna get 4 out of this one. So I'm gonna go in half, and then half, and now I got my 4. All right, so now we're gonna move these to the front because we got the nice grilled smokiness on there and they're cooking through. Now we're gonna take our tomatoes and just start stacking them on top of our eggplant. Now we're gonna season these Tomatoes take on salt better than most things. We start layering the cheese on. Here, like dealing cards. All right, so the grill is gonna go up to about 350 degrees to 400 degrees to melt everything. I'm gonna shut down the vent a little bit on my grill so it stops creating heat because it stops creating airflow. Same thing, I'm closed up on top too. We maintain our nice 350, we're in good shape.
Those look amazing.
Right? And then what I'm gonna do is hit them with a ton of Parm.
Oh man.
And then I'm just gonna flash them on the grill one last time.
Ratatouille sandwich.
All right.
Starting with the melange of veg here. We got the eggplant, we got the summer yellow squash, we got the zucchinis, we got the red pepper that we roasted, we skinned, some thinly sliced onions. I got some garlic, of course, and some herbs. What we did was salt these for about 30 minutes. The eggplant and the zucchini and the squash hold a tremendous amount of water in them, so we want to extract that water to not compromise our final product, but also kind of firm them up, right? Because we're gonna bake them nice and long. So you dab them, you salt them, kosher salt, so you know how much is hitting that vegetable and you don't have to do any guesswork. Then you flip them and you do it again because the bottoms get salted as well, so you don't want to neglect that. Remember, we pre-roasted these so they're nice and soft already, pliable. Let's make some flavoring agents, if you will, starting with some olive oil. We're gonna add some fresh garlic to this, fresh rosemary, some cracked black pepper, gotta have the cracked, some fresh thyme, and there we have it, a little salt. And now we're gonna start layering all these.
Exciting.
Right, and we made a nice aluminum foil cradle. We got plenty of moisture, you don't need to spray or anything. We got some Parmesan cheese. I know, not a traditional ingredient. This is more of a binder, and you'll see why. Starting with our first vegetable, which is the summer squash. We're just gonna layer on there. Nice, 2 layers of each vegetable, right? Almost like a jigsaw puzzle. Then we're gonna brush on that very flavorful herby oil right on top of there. Then we're gonna sprinkle just a tiny amount of Parm just to adhere the next level, which is the roasted red pepper. Alex, I know. What do you think so far? Are you okay with this?
Yeah, I was thinking a lot of things. First of all, I think Ratatouille is really from the south of France, where you get into places like Nice, and it's so close to Italy. You're getting those Italian vibes already that the Parmesan cheese makes complete sense. And I was also thinking the eggplant and the zucchini they're vegetables that don't need a lot of water to grow. So this is actually you being really green in a very slick way by using the zucchini and the eggplant.
Eggplant's something that kind of trips people up sometimes. They get a little intimidated by it because you think, do I have to salt it? Do I have to do all this method like this? Yes, Jeff's salting it. But you can also just cut it up and roast it. It doesn't have to be salted
Yeah,
for
I
preparation
generally
like that.
don't ever salt my eggplant.
Ooh, boy.
How you doing, Jeff? How's the layering going?
We're
Jeff?
going good, guys. So 2 layers of each vegetable, and we are gonna put that skin side out so it looks pretty in there. We're gonna give it another brush. Again,
That's
2
actually a
layers of
really-
each.
Wait a minute, I didn't even ever think of that. You put them so the skin sides are on the out, so when you unmold it, you see all the color. I didn't
Pretty,
think of
right?
that.
I usually remove the skin, so I'm doing like an eggplant parm, you know, because it can get a little, but I love the flavor of the skin, right? It's like
I like it
nothing like
too.
the inside, right? It's
And
so
when it
different.
roasts, yeah, I really like it.
All right, this is the last and final piece. You gotta have tomatoes in there. I didn't wanna layer tomatoes in there, it's a lot of water content in there, so I'm just gonna put these beautiful plum tomatoes right on top and bake them in there. We got the oven at 400 degrees. A little more Parm on top.
As long as you have cheese on top, it doesn't matter what's underneath.
Just gonna help give it a nice, caramelization and browning, a little salt, and it's going in the oven. 1 hour and 15 minutes, 400 degree oven, Jeffrey.
Do you cover it up?
No,
like
I
that.
want to dehydrate it almost so it becomes more concentrated in flavor,
Got
but
it.
also in integrity. So you
Check.
can cut it.
Check.
We bake it. Now you put it in the fridge for at least 4 hours, up to overnight in the fridge. And now I want you to take a gander at that beauty. Look at, it's cold. You could serve this room temperature. You could even serve it warm. Just let it rest a little bit like you would a lasagna. Really, you don't want it sliding around, but that's why we did the cradle.
Cradle.
Let's see, moment of truth. Woo!
Oh, it's like a vegetable hammock.
It's a vegetable hammock, Jeffrey. That was my second name for that, but you beat me to it.
Jeff, that's really beautiful.
I
And
love
you've got
that.
all the onions, right? The eggplant, the zucchini, all that spring bounty, and now every sandwich needs two things. You need a good sauce, all right? You need some veg, some crispness on there. So we got some arugula. I made a champagne vinaigrette in honor of Jeffrey that you can find on foodnetwork.com/thekitchen. So this has got champagne vinegar, shallots, some herbs, everything. And we're gonna lightly dress this arugula, give it some acidic punch to this, because this is a lot of, basic vegetable. Yeah, so we just got some nice sub rolls, but that we've treated with butter and rubbed with garlic. So we got almost this nice garlic bread presentation here.
It's almost a terrine
Come on,
legume.
guy.
It's a terrine
Come on,
legume.
guy.
What?
Come on.
It's a terrine.
Can I do one more thing in honor of Jeffrey? I gotta go a little extra.
Goat
You
cheese.
can do this
Goat
or
cheese.
some beautiful whipped French butter.
Is it
On
salted?
the bottom,
Oh.
soft.
I thought that was an aioli.
No, it's not. I'm gonna do I rarely do a double-sided applique smear, but I'm doing it on this. A little bit
Gotta have the
flaky
salt.
sea salt on
Yeah.
there.
That's very French.
I did that,
Very
right?
French. Now
we're gonna
I'm
match it
okay.
up, right? I'm gonna line it up to the bread. All right.
You're using a serrated knife, right, Joe?
Of course, yeah, you have to. There's no way.
You are on him today.
Oh, just want to make sure he's doing it right.
That's beautiful.
And
I
now,
love that.
a lot
Wait a second. That's the size of the sandwich?
Listen, you
How
can
you gonna
always
eat
you know,
that?
How are you gonna eat
It's gonna
that?
slip all over the place. Oh, it's beautiful.
I love
It's
that.
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Come on, huh?
I want to see you take a bite of that.
Look at that.
dramatic.
Look how pretty that is. You could do thinner slices and layer it the other way. I just wanted to be funny about it, but I like to cut it again so you get double cross section on the sharp bias. How are you gonna eat it? You create that
Point.
easy triangle for that first bite.
Create a
That's
point of
so
entry.
pretty.
Ooh, look at the little layer of butter in there, just peeking out.
I gotta go upside down methodology on that.
Oh my goodness. I'm impressed.
Respect.
And that's beyond internet food. I know it's like a showstopper visually and it'd be totally Instagrammable, but so tasty. The vegetables have so much crunch to them still and freshness. The fat, the salt, the crispness from the arugula, spiciness from there too. It is so good.
So I'm gonna take these eggplant, cut them in half, salt, pepper, olive oil. I'm gonna put them on the charcoal grill. While I'm grilling those, I'm gonna chop up a couple cloves of garlic, a white onion, and I'm gonna put my cast iron pan, once again, on top of the grill, because why not? We're smoking this whole dish basically while it's cooking over the grill. And I'm gonna start sweating that off with a little olive oil and some heirloom tomatoes over there on the table. I'm gonna chop those up nice and small, throw them into my onions and garlic. Let that go nice and slow. So I find these little tiny cast irons. I put my little beautiful eggplants face up, the grill marks face up. I'm gonna spoon over my tomato sauce, and then I'm gonna put those in the back of the pizza oven and let them go nice and slowly. Once the eggplant's cooked all the way through, we're just gonna gratinate a little cheese on top. So I'm gonna take them out, a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano, grated. We're gonna sprinkle that on there. I've got some beautiful fresh mozzarella I found in the back fridge. A little crack of black pepper, pop them in the back of the oven. Just want that cheese to start melting and coating all that tomato and eggplant. I mean, this is a simple dish.
I baked it off right at the end with a little fresh mozzarella and Parmesan,
Just delicious, sweet little bites of the eggplant, great tomato flavor, great cheese, great pull. It's what eggplant Parmesan is supposed to be.
First thing I'm gonna make from local ingredients is roasted eggplant caponata. Caponata is actually an eggplant dip that's served with pita or as a first course. It's absolutely delicious. Got tomato and garlic. And what I'm gonna do is take the eggplant and just prick it all over. That keeps it from exploding in your oven. That wouldn't be pretty. It's easy to say you're gonna cook local, but it's not so easy to do it. What I used to do is make a menu and then try and figure out what kind of local ingredients I could get, and that just somehow doesn't work. So what I do now is I make a list of what's local and what's available now, and then do a menu around that. There are great eggplants from the Green Thumb, so I thought, I'm gonna make caponata. So it's pricked all over. I'm just gonna rub it with olive oil. Just drizzle it on. Doesn't have to be an exact amount. And just rub it all over with your hands. It's a good messy job. Okay, into the oven, 400 degrees for about 45 to 50 minutes until it's extremely tender, very slippery. And in the meantime, I want to show you how fabulous the Green Thumb farm stand is. I love it. They made a video for me.
Hi, Ina.
I'm Larry from the Green Thumb Farm. We're trying to save the ever-decreasing farmland of the East End. We're committed to making a difference here, and we believe we have.
Hi, my name's Joe, and while my brothers are out in the fields, I'm working in the farm stand. Come on in. We sell everything we grow and harvest it daily. Lots of vegetables, fruits, flowers, and lots of fresh herbs. Of course, we grow lots of different kinds of eggplant on our farm. However, this is the one that Ina picked.
So here's my green thumb eggplant. It's all roasted and cooled. And now I'm just gonna peel it. Once it's cooked, it's so easy to get the skin off. Caponata is a great vegetarian dish. It's also a good appetizer. Okay, so I'm just gonna chop it up. Very juicy, it's perfectly cooked. Just put it in the food processor, and then I'm gonna put lots of other things in it to give it so much flavor. Okay, next is red peppers. So this jar is about 12 ounces and I need 4, so about a third of a jar. And half a cup of good green olives. This is the time to really get good olives. These are marinated and they're pitted, which is great. About a half a cup. I'm just gonna give this a coarse chop in the food processor, and that's the basis for the caponata. Just pulse it, don't puree it. You want it to have great texture. Into a bowl. And then I'm gonna add all kinds of great flavors. So next, I'm gonna saute some onions. I need about a tablespoon of olive oil. I've got a cup of onions. Got them all chopped up. So I've got onions, and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Give it a little heat. It is Sicilian after all. I need about 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley. And this is gonna go in at the end. It's gonna give it a really nice fresh taste. Okay, that's the parsley. Let's see how the onions are doing. Perfect. They're really tender. They're just starting to color. Now I'm gonna add a tablespoon of chopped garlic. That's about 3 cloves. Give it a toss. And this just goes right into the eggplant mixture. Does that smell good? Next, toasted pine nuts. I've got 2 tablespoons. Just dump them right in. 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This just gives it a really good tomato flavor. 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I just think everything needs a little bit of an acid edge to it, otherwise it's just bland and boring. We don't do boring here. Okay, next is a little red wine vinegar, which does the same thing, just a splash. About 2 tablespoons of drained capers. 2 teaspoons of salt. 1.5 teaspoons of pepper. So that's the eggplant caponata. I like to serve it with pita chips. You can serve it with crackers, but these are so easy to do, it's really worth it. This is how I make them. I just cut the pitas in half, and then I cut them in triangles, brush them with olive oil, sprinkle them with salt, and bake them in the oven for 10 minutes at about 375 degrees. Okay, ready to set up the caponata just into a bowl. Maybe a little bit of extra parsley. Actually, what I like to do is sometimes is just put leaves in instead of chopping it up all the time. And just sort of stir it in so it looks natural. It's the food stylist. Okay. And toasted pita chips around. I love the sort of crisp pita thing with a creamy caponata. I love the interplay of flavors and textures. I'd say that's ready for its photo, for my article. Say cheese. And now I have to make sure it tastes good. That's so good. You get really clear eggplant flavor. When you taste the tomato and the onions and the garlic, it's all layered really nicely.
Let's face it, you could deep fry a car part and it would probably taste pretty good. But there's another way to fry, and that is pan frying. That's special frying for me. For me, the ultimate fried food is eggplant parmigiana. I love the idea of frying something like eggplant and then layering it into tomato sauce with different kinds of cheese that all play a specific role, and then baking it until it's just goopy good and bubbly in the oven. To me, that's where fried food is at. Eggplant parmigiana is just one of those iconic foods. It's distinctly Italian. When chefs talk, they say, oh, my mother made this when I was 5. My grandmother, you know, with no fire and no eggplant, she made this. This is not any of those things for me because I arrived at this particular way to make eggplant parmesan by trial and error. And it's a dish that became something really special to me because it's so delicious. Let's face it, eggplant, probably not the most exciting vegetable in the world, but when you take the eggplant and you prepare it in this way, it's not eggplant anymore. And that starts actually with a basic tomato sauce, made simply by cooking together onions, garlic, and chili flakes, a tablespoon of sugar, and a generous pinch of salt in a little bit of oil on the stove, and then adding canned tomatoes and a little bit of water as it cooks if needed. Now, let's get to the real main event, and that is my buddy eggplant. I start by slicing the eggplant into rounds, and I leave the skin on. And I just salted them lightly, and you can see they're kind of sweating a little bit. The salt is gonna draw out bitterness, and then we get to the good stuff. We need to create 3 separate steps to transform this eggplant into deep fried love. You're gonna need 3 bowls. 1 with all-purpose flour, 1 with egg whisked together with a little bit of milk to thin it out, and 1 with breadcrumbs mixed with some fresh thyme leaves and dried oregano. And now we're ready to prepare our eggplant for frying. So just get a tray together and just go for it. First, we start in the flour, the egg and the milk on top of it, and then the breadcrumb. And to think we have frying left to do, I could eat this like this if nobody was looking. So the first thing you need when you're frying is a frying pan.
I got a pan. Here you go, Alex.
So I'm gonna take these and drop them in about ½ an inch of really hot vegetable oil. You don't wanna use olive oil for pan frying because olive oil has a low smoking point, so it's bitter. So I use a vegetable oil like canola, and I get it really hot. 1, you want hot oil because you want to develop that wonderful crust. And 2, the less the oil's gonna be absorbed by the eggplant and the less greasy the eggplant's gonna be. And look at this, you drop, oh, come on. That's not frying, that's the best fried looking thing, look at that. And you let it bubble and you see those crispy brown edges, and then you flip it over and you brown the other side. If there were a picture in the dictionary of frying, this would be it. Now you're ready to build your eggplant parmesan. I've got my 11 by 17 baking dish, and I'll start immediately with a layer of that beautiful tomato sauce on the bottom, and then a layer of the eggplant. Some slices of mozzarella, grated Parmigiano Reggiano, and some tangy, delicious grated provolone. Then another layer of tomato, another layer of eggplant, and another layer of all the cheeses. And since everything is cooked, all you're really doing is getting it melty, fried deliciousness. So anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes in the oven, baking at 425 degrees. My mouth is watering. Look at that, all nice and gorgeous. So I like to serve eggplant parmesan in a bowl, actually, because I don't want to miss anything. Just get a little of that eggplant, a little of that cheese, that tomato. First bite's always the best. The first bite is about experiencing all the different textures. The crispy fried eggplant, just made somewhat pleasantly soggy by the tomato sauce, the tang of the tomato, the richness of the cheese, all of that coming together in the first bite makes the process of putting this together totally worth it. Definitely the best fried dish I ever made. So delicious.
I always keep marinara sauce in the pantry, and it's a key ingredient in my roasted eggplant parmesan. I mean, by the time you cook the eggplant, sliced all the ingredients and assembled it, who wants to start making marinara sauce? Not me. So first the eggplant. I've roasted lots of it. Let me tell you how I did it. I sliced 2½ pounds of eggplant into half moons, Lay them in a single layer on 3 sheet pans. Brush both sides with olive oil. Sprinkled a teaspoon of oregano over the eggplant on each sheet pan, crushing it slightly. Sprinkled a half a tablespoon of salt on each pan and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Next, I put the 3 sheet pans in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. Then I turned the slices, rotated the pans, and baked them for 10 minutes more until they were tender. Okay, last pan. Trust me, once you've roasted eggplant, you'll never go back to frying it again. You don't get it all over the kitchen. You don't get it all over yourself. Okay, I've got all the elements. I've got marinara sauce. I've got eggplant. I have to pull some other things together. Half a cup of julienne basil, a pound of buffalo mozzarella in thick slices, 8 ounces of garlic and herb goat cheese, and 1.5 cups of freshly grated Parmesan. Okay, now I'm just gonna layer up all these ingredients. I'll start with 1/3 of the marinara in the pan, spread it out, then add 1/3 of the roasted eggplant, 1/3 of the julienne basil, 1/3 of the buffalo mozzarella slices, 1/3 of the goat cheese, and 1/3 of the Parmesan. I always grate it myself. Now we'll do the same thing all over again. Marinara, eggplant, basil, mozzarella, goat cheese, Parmesan, and again, ending with grated Parmesan. Now, how good does that look already? So one last thing to do, I'm gonna make a crunchy breadcrumb topping for the roasted eggplant Parmesan. Just gives it nice texture. So I need about 1 1/3 cups of breadcrumbs. And it's really easy. Just a few more things to add to give it great flavor. First, 4 minced garlic cloves, then 1/4 cup of chopped fresh basil. I'll pulse them just to combine. Then I'll add 1/4 cup of olive oil, a teaspoon of salt, and pulse them again, just enough to moisten the crumbs. Okay, that was pretty easy for flavored breadcrumbs, right? Okay, I'm just gonna put these right on top. So this is gonna bake 400 degrees for 50 minutes, and then I'm gonna let it set at room temperature for about 10 minutes so you can cut it easily. And that's gonna be so good. Okay, this is my roasted eggplant Parmesan. How good does that look? I just let it sit for about 10 minutes so you can serve it. I'll just make sure it tastes great. Wow. That's really good.